Hello, one and all. GreymanX6 here with another pickup video, and whoa, looks like my prediction during the March 2024 pickup video came true. I caved and got a lot of Hasbro stuff brand new. Well, except this one. You can see this tag here. For just a little over MSRP, I was able to find it at one of my local toy businesses here that happened to have the last Angel, which is very fortunate because at first I wasn't too excited, but then as reviews started rolling in, I realized just how much of an upgrade it was over the old Toy Biz Angel, and especially this one because the legs are getting gummy and floppy. Yeah. The other ones, I'm ashamed to admit it, I found at Target when I just happened to be just traipsing through the toy aisle to see if I could find anything, but then one day I go to one Target, there was Tombstone, and then one closer to home, there was Goblin Queen, who's been going for like 50 or so on eBay, and then a few days later, lo and behold, the big kahuna, the new Scarlet Spider. So yeah, this is going to be a big omega uber omega level unboxing video today, but so I don't waste too much of your time, we're not gonna be showing each one being individually open, so... And here we are, finally, all these out of the package, and in the brief time that I had unboxed them and messed around with them, I don't feel so bad about caving anymore, because, let's face it, last year was really lackluster for Hasbro and Marvel Legends. I still go poo-poo if people say that MCU is damaged beyond repair. I'm just like, it's you need to fix the MCU? What? It's broken? But their Marvel Legends offerings were just not very good. But this, oh man, just, you see all the pictures, you watch the reviews, but when you actually get this Angel in hand and mess with the wings, how you can just fold them up, pose them any way you like, and it comes with interchangeable hands and heads. I already put the different head on, the one or smirking one. This reminds me of the Warren Worthington III of old. I mean, he was just a devil-may-care playboy, out to do some adventuring, just loves just spreading his wings and soaring through the sky. Yeah. And to think, I was hesitant at first to pick this up, because, again, Hasbro's shitfuckery, but when I first looked at it, it's like, oh, it doesn't have all the paint apps that the old Angel has. It's like no shade, like no wash or anything, and of course I miss sometimes the articulated fingers and the toe articulation that came standard on Marvel Legends back in the Toy Biz days that we're only just getting back, at least the toe articulation with the Renew Your Vows body. But damn, not only is it taller and just more in line with what Marvel Legends are like these days, and again, this one's showing its age, it's like getting all floppy and stuff. It's just so much better. Yes, like the little things about no articulated fingers or no wash on the abs or whatever. If you really want, I guess you can do some customizations, but as is. And then people had to point out later to me that, oh, there is paint detail. There's some dry brushing out to make all the sculpted detail just stand out and pop. So, not so much on the back, but yeah. This is gotta be on the top 10 list at the end of the year. I mean, then again, Hasbro's been having a banger year so far, and we're not even halfway through. But yeah, it's got the standard articulation. One thing I gotta knock it for, though, is we didn't get a buck that has butterfly joints. Some points off for that. But he's got all the other standard articulations. Yeah, we don't have toe articulation, but we do have ankle pivot, so that's a nice trade-off. And, oh, there is a bit of shading right here, and right here, like on the forearms even. It does make it stand out how the part that he's just like wearing gloves. Is this part articulated? No, that's so weird. Why does like the paint detail kind of just makes it look like it stops here, like you should be able to rotate the forearm, but no, you can't. It's kind of weird. So yeah, it's not perfect, but damn, this is one of Hasbro's absolute best for 2024, and I made the right call making the switch, upgrading this one. And this is the only one I'm switching out this month, because the rest of these are characters I don't have at all, unless you count the baby version of Cable. So yeah, let's move on to Madeline Pryor. We have the baby Cable accessory, a couple fisted hands, and I already got the demonic energy effects on it. Ben, really? So yeah, this was Goblin Queen from the new X-Men 97 series, which is just phenomenal. I loved it. That two-part premiere had me in fanboy heaven, and then it didn't stop. Right next episode, they delve into Inferno, which I admit did feel condensed, and by nixing all the actual supernatural demonic stuff, they blew a chance to introduce a way to power up Colossus' sister, Ileana, and instead we got a weird morph turned into her for whatever reason. Anyway, let's just look at the articulation. Can't really look up because of the hair, but she can look down some. Got bicep swivel, pinless double-jointed elbows, standard Marvel Legend female hands that can swivel and hinge up and down. This part's really loose, though. I've been hearing that Goblin Queen, some people had QC problems. I forget exactly what it was, but this ab twist, I mean this diaphragm twist, it's really bothering me. Otherwise, the legs are nice and tight. You got a thigh cut there, semi-hidden by the boot. Okay, this part's pretty loose. Not so much this one, but still pretty loose. And amazingly, you can pivot these freaking stiletto heels. Yeah, loose in a couple places, but hey, I'm glad I didn't have to pay eBay prices since it seems to be sold out everywhere else like Big Bad Toy Store and whatnot. Main reason I just went ahead and picked her up when I saw her. But my main problem is, for whatever reason, probably because of, to highlight the influence of Mr. Sinister, they gave her like pale flesh tone, so I'm finally gonna have to learn to customize and paint. I'll probably use the head from the recent Dark Phoenix reissue, but definitely gonna have to paint flesh tone here on the hands. Probably paint the fists instead since it's easier, since I don't have to worry about avoiding the fingernails, the painted fingernails. And these parts were flesh toned in the episode, and might as well just paint flesh tone here as well, so it's still not going to look like the comic version, or even that very comic accurate version we saw, the prototype for the frickin' bungled Ghost Rider HasLab. Still pisses me off. As nice as this is, I much rather had that, but whatever. Anyway, so here we are. We got Madeline Pryor. One of the well, she's not really a bad guy anymore, not even in the comics. I mean, after that dark web nonsense where she had that team up with Ben Reilly after he went bonkers and became Chasm, she kind of quit being a villain and actually opened up an embassy for the Limbo Dimension, which she's now ruler of. Ileana Rasputin transferred lordship of it to her. She's kind of left her villainous ways behind, and I hope it sticks. Because say what you will about the Krakoa era, it showed which villains would take redemptions, which wouldn't. Madeline did, and her villain shtick's done. It's played out. But who knows when Ben Reilly's gonna come to his senses, because now that he's become Chasm and issued the Scarlet Spider. Now, speaking of this one, for a long time I wanted that last retro-carded one, and for a while, even after they announced this one, I almost considered getting that one, because I like the dark crimson for that one a lot better than like this candy apple red you see here. But ultimately, I decided, yeah, this one would be better, because it's on the Renew Your Vows body. And then I saw it at Target, so... But I did handle one once in the aforementioned toy store around here where I got Angel. I ultimately didn't buy the old one because it had some like paint blemishes and scratches and it was all beat up. But when I remember when handling that one, it just didn't feel as good as this one. Even though I have the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man, just amazed. It's like, I like the nice texture here for the actual separate piece for the torn hoodie. And despite that being a solid piece, it doesn't really get in the way of... Well, maybe gets in the way of the twisting, but that lower ab crunch doesn't get in the way at all. Yeah, the head can be gappy. I've seen that in reviews, but that's avoidable. And we get all the pinless, double-jointed elbows and knees. And we get the full complement of hands. I went ahead and swapped them out. We got the hand crawler here, the thwippy here, and he came preloaded with fists, and I better go find that. Would have been nice to have him come with some web lines, though, but whatever, can't have everything. And the belt's an individual piece. It's got painted detail, as do the ankle pouches, whatever. Like the little pin here is painted silver, as is the buckles. This is just an all-around great figure. Even though it's mostly reused, just using the opportunity to upgrade Ben Reilly with the Renew Your Vows body. In fact, let me show you a comparison. Here's my Spider-Man Renew Your Vows body. Let's straighten them out. You can see them side by side. Pretty much the same height. Yeah, this is my definitive Spider-Man. I like the darker blue, the slightly bigger Spider-Man emblem on the chest, and of course all the sweet articulations, even having toe articulation back. So yeah, in the end of the day, it was a smart move to get this new upgraded Scarlet Spider instead of going for one of the older ones. And now this brings us to Tombstone, a villain I never really cared for because my introduction to him was in the cartoon way back when, and even though it did adapt the storyline with him and Robbie Robinson, I still didn't think of him as a major character. But with the start of the current writer of Spider-Man, Zeb Wells, his run dealt heavily with Tombstone's antics in New York City, with, of all people, White Rabbit as his right-hand hench bunny. So yeah, he's in the public conscience again since he's been a big part of Spider-Man comics for a while, but I didn't even know this was coming in the same wave as Scarlet Spider, and hot damn! Then the reviews started coming in, pointing out what an excellent suited figure this is, nice and big and bulky, befitting Tombstone, but with detail like the pinstripes on the shirt, like all the details for the shoes, and even some like texture for the socks. I don't know if that's coming through. And yeah, there is some limited articulation because of the suit, but otherwise it's good. I don't know if he has butterfly joints, but he doesn't really need it. He's got a surprising amount of range in his arms, and of course, pinless double-jointed elbows and knees, which is the de facto standard these days. And pivots real well despite the cuffs of the pants. Anyway, as for accessories, it's a weird thing. It's like he doesn't really come out at the top of the neck, it comes out at the base of the neck, and then you just plop this other one in. This is a very goofy expression, but both of these, you gotta respect the amount of detail, like the paintwork to bring it out. It's like this, especially around the eyes. It's gonna focus. Come on, focus. Whatever. And he has an accessory holding hand along with an open hand and fists. Obviously meant to hold a gun, but he doesn't come with one. I thought it was Warner Brothers that didn't want McFarlane making their characters come with guns, but whatever. So yeah. Oh, and the last thing I picked up, one little game. I remember this being touted at the launch of the original Xbox, though the GameCube did get a port, and I think maybe it was just in Europe, but there was an enhanced port for the PS2 as well, and now there's an HD version on Steam. At least that's one thing that EA didn't fucking bury. But yeah, it's basically twisted metal-ish action with cel-shaded, goofy, cartoony characters. This was before cel shading in games, this was in between Jet Grind Radio and when we had Zelda Wind Waker and Sly Cooper coming out saying, okay, this is how it's done. But it's still a fun little game. Give it a shot later. So yeah. That's it. Angel. Madeline Pryor, Ben Reilly, and Tombstone. These were all great figures. If I was gonna just break my Hasbro boycott and go hog wild, these are some great ones. Excellent paint detail, excellent engineering, articulation, though I am gonna have to customize Maddie here. Hopefully, this year just gets better and better for Hasbro.